Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Wednesday, the 3rd day of July. It is Air Conditioning Day, American Redneck Day. Wait a minute. Why is everybody looking at me? Compliment Your Mirror Day, Disobedience Day, International Drop Rock Day, International Plastic Bag Free Day, National Chocolate Wafer Day. That sounds delicious. Eat Your Beans Day. I'm a big fan of beans. National Fried Clam Day. I've only had those once. I was like, it's not for me. National Independent Beer Run Day. Stay Out of the Sun Day. And Idaho Day. So all of that stuff happening, and I'm sure there's other things too. And I've got a guest joining me today, Miki Sudo. She is the hot dog eating champion, 9-time champion, or maybe 10-time champion. Anyway, I'm going to chat with her. We've talked to her several times. Super nice lady. Going to chat with her all about her big contest coming up tomorrow. It's the Nathan's annual hot dog eating contest. We'll get all the details coming up. Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. What's bugging you these days? Taxes? Somebody's driving? Your boss? Kids? The fact that punctuation seems optional? Well, according to a new survey, there's something that is currently bothering people even more than annoying politicians, and that is the cost of food.
Oh my gosh, it's horrifying.
Yeah, they did a survey to find out what's bothering you the most, and that was number one, was the cost of living, which almost everybody is annoyed by. Other things that are on the list... it says other common bugaboos.
Bugaboo.
Who typed this story? Crowds, weather, tipping culture, the TV being too loud, artificial intelligence, the cost of concert tickets and reality TV, self-checkouts, and tech billionaires. They all made this. Oh, and parking is another one. And it says 26% agreed that they are somewhat more positive than they were more recently. So they're saying that things are getting better. 26%. It could be worse. I don't know about surveys and studies and such. Brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
It's rad. It's bad. It's 80s. The coolest rock vacation of the summer. Retromania Live. August 21st through 25th, the Mansion Theater. Starring Vince Neil, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Night Ranger, Tom Kiefer, Tiffany, Lou Graham, Pauly Shore, celebrity autograph signings, costume parties, and more. Single-day tickets on sale now at RetromaniaLive.com. Produced by Branson Star Entertainment.
Did you know? Brought to you by Genesis Gold, IRA.com. Heidi, did you know that since 2014, the Welsh government has donated a fruit tree to families in Uganda for every born child in Wales?
Oh.
2008, the Plant scheme was announced. They said, we're going to celebrate the birth or adoption of a child in Wales by planting a tree with an aim to create a new woodlands for future generations.
I like that.
And they thought it was cool, but it came even better in 2014. In Uganda, fruit trees are planted because they can provide vital fruit for people to eat and timber when they are ready for it to be, utilized for something else.
Right.
And apparently that area had been decimated by deforestation. So that's really kind of a cool thing.
That's a really great idea.
Yeah. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by RadioSavings.com. Huge news for Shrek fans. Eddie Murphy has confirmed that he's already started recording for the upcoming movie, the 5th movie in the Shrek franchise. I don't think I've seen all of them. I know I've seen the first one, and then there's a bunch of others that I'm not even really sure if I've seen those. But anyway, it's a spin-off film. It's called... I think it's called Donkey, or I don't know, maybe it's not called that, but it's a spin-off that's gonna feature Donkey. Are you excited?
I kind of, after our kids grew up, I kind of fell out of that whole genre.
I'm going to say that's where I think I missed some. And 2025 Hollywood Walk of Fame class has been revealed. Major celebrities like Prince, who has passed on, Jane Fonda, Colin Farrell, more than 30 new stars will be added to the Walk of Fame. looking to see if Heidi made the list.
I was
No.
slighted again.
Yeah. She did not make the list, but Busta Rhymes did. So that's nice. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by RadioSavings.com. Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on RadioSavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at RadioSavings.com. That's RadioSavings.com. Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Dust off the rubber duckies. A study found that taking a nice bath on a daily basis can reduce your risk of dying from cardiovascular-related issues. That's like heart attack and stroke. It says taking a bath once or twice a week is also beneficial. Japanese researchers found that a daily bath will put you in even better shape. Those taking a daily bath have a 28% lower risk of developing cardiovascular disease.
I bet that would include a hot tub.
Yeah, 26% lower overall risk of suffering a stroke. What's more, those who reported bathing in hot water as opposed to warm water saw an even lower risk of heart disease. So Heidi is probably onto something there. And a new restaurant in Missouri will not let you in unless you're at least 30.
Okay.
And if you're a guy, you have to be 35.
That's not uncommon anymore, honestly.
Yeah, ladies can come in at 30, men can come in at 35. Owners of a place called Bliss Restaurant in Florissant, Missouri, say they plan to stick to the controversial minimum age requirement in spite of complaints from social media users. A post from the restaurant on Facebook says, age restrictions are meant to, quote, ensure a grown and sexy atmosphere, end quote. Another post specifies that the eatery is, quote, interested in maintaining a mature and relaxed environment for all guests. And yet another post just might reveal the real reason behind the age restrictions. It calls them, quote, a way for older people to enjoy a night out while avoiding people who don't know how to be responsible or who think it's nice to come and play. It had a certain song on the jukebox. I'm not going to point out that particular song. But anyway, now it kind of makes me want to go check this place out because I am clearly old enough to be there. So
Well, and you know, it is kind of nice because we've been places where people aren't controlling their children, and it's not pleasant.
Yeah. Now I sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but I'm not, I promise. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Thank you for listening to The John and Heidi Show. So excited to visit right now with professional eater Miki Sudo. We've had her on the program numerous times, but coming up on Thursday, the 4th of July, the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, and I've got one of the winners. Miki, how many times have you won this thing? It's a bunch, right?
Yeah, I'm going for my 10th belt, so I'm the 9-time undefeated champion of the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating, but not the consecutive champion because I did take off 2021.
That's right. I remember you and I actually spoke that year as well. You took some time off to go and have a baby, which is awesome. So now, is your baby showing any signs of being like a professional eater in their future?
I mean, Max just loves food. So one, I'm happy he's not a picky eater, but we really need to, like, I think he loves to keep eating. So we kind of have to just redirect him because this kid will con he'll con the daycare into giving him 3 cupcakes because it's one something. Yeah, I'm like, you can't have 3 adult-sized cupcakes. Every other kid probably had 1 cut in half. So I'm like, you can't keep giving in to him. So I'm all for kids being kids, but yeah, no, I can't appetite run wild because,
Well, we're excited for you on Thursday. And now, how old were you when you discovered that you had a knack for professional eating? And what was it that made you decide to try this?
I probably could have been doing this earlier because, when I was 18, 19, I was going to Fordham in the Bronx. And it just didn't even cross my mind. So, Nathan's was much smaller then. The event wasn't what it is today. Back in 2005, But it's like when I was like 18, 19, I wish I had like made that trek and decided to just like jump into this, because like that would have taken my life in a whole different direction. But no, I started when I was maybe 27. Yeah, because I've been doing this about 10 years. I fell into it because there was a restaurant offering a progressive jackpot if you could finish a 12-pound bowl of pho or Vietnamese noodle soup. And, my friends had gone in and tried it, and I saw pictures, and I'm like, I want to do that. And so I went in, gave it a shot, and I was successful. And after that, it was supposed to be a one-off thing, but I started getting requests to do other restaurant challenges and then ultimately contests. And it was kind of like one success after another. It was really weird. And then I just kind of ran with it. I watched Nathan's one year, and I'm like, these girls eat how much and they make how much? I definitely have to give this a shot. I thought I could get second place. Then I won my very first year. So it's been a whirlwind. Just like fight, brave, don't be shy, and who knows where it'll take you.
It has been really fun to watch this as well. And, we've had a chance to talk numerous times. And again, I appreciate you chatting with me each year right before the event, because it's fun to talk about this and get people even more excited to tune in and watch this. And the number of people who show up to see it live just amazes me. There's a lot of people there.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a whole sea of people. I don't know the final count, because you have people who obviously make the trek, from the different boroughs, from other states, from other countries. Even you have all the media outlets there, and then you have people just like kind of on Coney Island on a Thursday.
Yeah.
So it's a whole sea of people, as far as you can see, and it's the energy is crazy, and you can literally feel like the scaffolding and the stage shake. So, every year I've tried to like slow down and take it all in.
So when the event is finished, what is the post-event day like for you? When you're done, or you're like, I got to go just lay down, or what do you have other things you do after this, or is that the last event of the day?
Yeah, eventually I'll get back to the hotel and lay down, but that's usually not till like 6 p.m. You figure, because our contest runs from like 11 to 11:30, and then the guys, are eating by like noon. But then after that, the men and the women's winner are brought back up to do all the press. We get, back in front of the step back. We take pictures with a hot dog. We do all the interviews. And then I usually take the later bus back to the hotel, and with traffic and everything, I'm usually back by like 5:30 or 6 p.m. So it's a full day. We're in the lobby at 8 a.m. to leave all together, and I'm probably back at 6. So, there's no like green room where I get to go collapse in immediately after eating hot dogs at 11:30. It's a full day, but it's so much fun and it's so rewarding.
Well,
and we'll be back at the hotel just in time for Max's bedtime.
I love it. Well, good luck to you, and I see another win in your future, and we'll hopefully get a chance to chat again next year.
Thank you. I'll be working really hard.
Absolutely. Again, Miki Sudo, Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest. It's on the 4th of July. I've got a link to videos from past years and all the information for this year in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
People with higher incomes generally prefer their toilet paper to come over the top of the roll, while those with lower incomes prefer it to come under the roll. And you were an over girl, is that right? And I was an under guy? So that makes sense, because you come from, a better stock than I do, apparently.
Do I?
Yes. Today is Redneck Day, remember? I'm here, and I see you.
John.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The longest lightning bolt ever recorded was 118 miles long. That is a long lightning bolt. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Some pumpkins can grow up to 15 miles of root. That's a lot of roots, man.
Wow.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The ideal height for you to drop your buttered toast from if you want to land butter side up is 8 feet.
Okay.
I don't know what's more disturbing, that we know that or that we paid somebody to learn that. All right. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Lime Jello produces the same brain waves as an adult when hooked to an EEG machine.
That's a little alarming.
That is very bizarre. Fun facts, several of them. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
It's rad. It's bad. It's 80s. The coolest rock vacation of the summer. Retromania Live. August 21st through 25th, the Mansion Theater. Starring Vince Neil, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Night Ranger, Tom Kiefer, Tiffany, Lou Graham, Pauly Shore, celebrity autograph signing, costume parties, and more. Single day tickets on sale now at RetromaniaLive.com. Produced by Branson Star Entertainment.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. A survey found that more than half of us think supermarkets and pharmacies should be open 24/7, and 19% think this type of business should also be open 24/7. I can't believe 19% think this.
A gas station?
No, dentists. They think that the dentist should be there 24/7.
I guess it would be nice to have
You scrape my teeth.
an emergency place if you were to have a horrible toothache or something.
Yeah, emergency dental is one thing, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com. Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Fascinating new paper by researchers at Harvard University and University of Montana. At first, I thought that it was Harvard University in Montana. I'm like, I didn't know they had it.
That's
Harvard.
new.
Yeah. When did they move? They argue that it is possible, despite the fact that we continue to hunt for extraterrestrial intelligence in deep space. They think that aliens are already here, living secret bases deep underground or beneath the ocean waves. While the authors acknowledge that this is a crypto-terrestrial hypothesis is likely to be viewed skeptically by most scientists, the report takes a deep dive into anthropology, history, geology, biology, and mythology, and scrutinizes so-called unidentified anomalous phenomena activity. I don't know what that means, but includes sightings of objects entering or exiting volcanoes, oceans, and lakes, and could indicate bases hidden in inaccessible locations. Yeah.
That's a little scary.
It is a little scary, but it's also quite weird. Why it's today's weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Most affordable and least affordable cities in which to own a home. Do you want the most affordable today or the least affordable today?
Most affordable.
Okay, the most affordable today, which means tomorrow will be the least affordable. I'm going to put both lists both days so you can find whichever you're looking for. So, study from Demographia. Most affordable homes. They did 94 major cities in 8 countries. Singapore is number 11 on the list officially, even though we're doing the top 10. There was a tie for 9th place, Louisville, Kentucky, USA, and Cincinnati, Ohio, USA. 5th place, tie, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, USA, Detroit, Michigan, USA, and Buffalo, New York, USA, and Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, in Canada. Those were all 5th place. 4th place, Cleveland, Ohio, USA. 2nd place, St. Louis, Missouri, USA. Now we're talking about the top 2 most affordable places to own a home. Rochester, New York, USA. And number 1, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA.
Really?
Yeah. Shocking, but true.
That's very shocking.
I've got that list in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com. Our quote today is from George Costanza from the TV show Seinfeld. He says, "What am I scared of? I'm scared of the same thing that you are, everything. I can relate to that sometimes, by the way. There are times that I do feel like I'm scared of everything. I just don't let on that I'm scared of anything.
I was going to say, you're not afraid of anything.
I'm afraid of everything. I just don't let on that I'm afraid of anything. So, yeah, there you go. That is your quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of Genesis Gold, IRA.com. And I like good news. I think it's really kind of a fun thing that we wrap up every day with good news. But I think this is a really, really cool story. It's like one of my favorite good news stories lately. Here's the headline. 12-year-old boy becomes a hero during a school field trip. This happened in Rhode Island. Do you remember going on field trips when you were in school?
Oh, I loved field trips.
Here's the thing that I always thought was funny. When I was growing up, I grew up in the middle of farm country in South Dakota. A field trip for us was going to an actual field. Pick some corn, kids. No, it wasn't really. I'm just being silly, so I don't want to have anybody send me letters. All right, so this routine field trip turned into a heroic rescue when a 12-year-old by the name of Alex Duplessis leapt into action to save a struggling classmate. The quick-thinking 7th grader did not hesitate when he noticed a peer fighting to keep his head above the water at a beach, Spring Lake Beach, during the school's annual trip. Says, I was just thinking, I got to help him. The young hero was on the shore, enjoying the day with friends, and he saw the boy in distress near the buoys. Without a second thought, he sprang into action and offered his assistance. He said, I saw that he was in distress. I jumped in. Got out to this kid. The kid that was in the water was not a real great swimmer, and this kid was apparently a really good swimmer. He said, I went underwater, but I was able to get up, and he said both his courage and presence of mind helped in the situation. Using his own strength and determination, he held his classmate by the shoulders and managed to tread water until lifeguards could get out there to help.
Wow.
Lifeguards took over and ensured that both boys were safely brought to shore. In a display of humility, he didn't even mention this incident to his parents. Didn't even tell them.
Wow.
How was your day? He didn't say, I saved a kid.
That's pretty
It was only when the school officials contacted the mother 24 hours later to let them know that, hey, we just want to say thank you. Your son is a hero. And she's like, wait a minute, what?
What happened?
And she said it was kind of cool because they reached out, and both of his parents, are full-time EMTs and firefighters.
Oh, that's cool.
So this kid comes by it honest. So I think that is really cool. I've got a link to that story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.